Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Hoopies Awards, brought to you by the Hoops crew. It is Monday night. I am joined by my esteemed colleagues from the Hoop crew. We are missing one of the members at the moment, but we'll see. Sambo can't join us just yet, but we might get an appearance from Sambo shortly. But to my immediate right, I've got Jake Botel. G'day, Jake.
A pleasure and a privilege to be here as always. Glad to get an invite to the annual company awards show.
Very good. And sitting under him, underneath Jake's chair, is Paul James. How you going, Paul?
I could really do with some sunnies because I'm feeling that sort of state right now.
Yeah, Paul's not feeling the best tonight, so we are on bucket watch. So hopefully we'll get some action in the next 20 minutes. I think it'll be great for TV if it happened, but we'll see. So let's
Could be
see what
explosive
happens.
on either end.
And to Paul's left is the John Dog himself, Mr. Johnny Larkins. How you going, mate?
Fantastic. Glad to be here. Glad to be on a very special night for the Hoops crew, the Hoopies. Can't wait to get into it and see who wins the most prestigious Geelong Cats award of the year.
It's going to be a little bit different tonight. So last year, this is Hoopies 2.0, but last year we did round by round. We showed the votes. I kind of knew the end result, but had to pretend like I didn't. But this year we're going to do something a little bit different, where it's going to be a sort of it might feel like a bit of a player review, but we're actually going to count up the votes to see who we arrive at as the winner of the Hoopies in 2025. So the normal voting procedure, similar to probably like a Norm Smith. All five of us cast a 3-2-1 every week after the game. Some of us forget, including myself, for about 6 weeks and have to go back and look at a couple of games and figure out who's probably got the 3-2-1s.
It really adds to the credibility of the award.
It does, doesn't it? It is. If you're up for some credibility, you're probably in the wrong place, but that's okay. Welcome anyway. So yes, that's how we've done it. We've done it we did it finals as well. So all 24 rounds or 23 weeks of footy, and then the three finals as well. And we've arrived at our winner. Or should I say winners? It's a winner anyway. I've spoiled that. There's no joint winner. All right. So that's how we're going to do it. So we'll do that. It'll kind of be a bit of a season review as well, all packaged up into one. But before we do that, let's a quick shout out to Cyril Cook Florist. Drop your emojis in the chat. Massive thanks to the show sponsor for 2025, and I should say the women's season in 2024 as well. We can't do it without Cyril Cook supporting us on the journey, and we thank you very much for your continued support. We love you heaps. So thanks to them. But a little cheeky shout out too to Shannon Pizza for the post-game live show too. Thanks to everyone's support. But also, while we're on thank yous, a huge thank you. It's probably a good reminder to me to bring it up, actually. There it is. A massive thank you to anyone who has been a supporter of us on YouTube or Patreon throughout to 2025, whether that be for a day, a month, or the whole year, or even in some cases for probably the last 3 years. I think Jared Fox, I'm looking at you, and I might have missed one or two others as well, but there's been some supporters of the channel for quite a while now, so we thank you for your support as well. All right, boys, let's get on with the show. All right, so some quick stats before we get into the votes for the year. This year we've had 26 players play all. Sorry, we've had 6 players the other way around. We've had 6 players play all 26 games. Our leading goal kicker this year was Jeremy Cameron on 88 goals. What did he kick in the last 2 weeks? 2 goals, not much.
Yeah.
I don't know what did he kick in the prelim? Was it 1 goal or 2? Anyway, the 100 didn't quite happen, unfortunately. Tommy Atkins broke the AFL record, 232 tackles. Bailey Smith, 720 possessions, and double that in social media tweets on Mad Monday. Zach Guthrie got the most marks for the Cats this year with 169. Very nice. Clearances, Tom Atkins with 147, the most for the Cats. And goal assists, not Brian Myers this year, nowhere near it, in fact. A bit of a change of role, but this year it was Bradley Close and Patrick Dangerfield sharing the honours with 30 goal assists each. In terms of debuts this year, Georgie Stevens and Ollie Wiltshire were the only 2 Cats to don the hoops for the first time, if you don't count Jack Martin and Bailey Smith, but we're talking about AFL debuts. But yeah, congrats to Bailey and Jack Martin as well. That was pretty good. Some milestones for the year. Jeremy Cameron brought up the 700 goals. We had 350 games and I think 350 goals to Patrick Dangerfield as well. 200 Cats games for Patrick Dangerfield, 300 games for Mitch Duncan, 150 games for Jack Henry, Brian Myers and Tom Atkins, 100 games for Max Holmes and Tyson Stengel, and 100 Cats games, I should say, for Jeremy Cameron. And 50 games for Ollie Dempsey and 50 Cats games for Ollie Henry and Jack Bose. So congrats to all those fellas. Bose, I should say. Jack Bose. Yeah, some big stories of the year. I guess there's the Jeremy Cameron, the 100-goal hunt. Didn't quite get there, but did win the common medal. So congrats to him. Obviously, I mentioned before the Tom Atkins breaking the tackle record. He was getting a bit of a nudge there late in the season from Matty Rowell, but somehow held on. And Bailey Smith didn't win the Brownlow, came third in the Brownlow, but did win the AFL Players Association Award for, I think it's the Champion Award, or it used to be the MVP. I'm not sure if they've changed the name on that, but and probably the only down story of the year, unless you count Caro Wilson's controversy. It was the Tom Stewart concussion on the prelim, so that was probably the other big one for the year. We farewelled Mitch Duncan. He's officially left the Cats on his way to the West Coast Eagles. So we thank Mitch for everything he's done for the club. All right, last little bit before we get into the voting segment of the show. Really quick, just want to point out some things that the channel's achieved, and probably I haven't thanked the team as well. Just want to take the opportunity to thank the team for everything they've done this year. It's been I'm getting all serious here. It's meant to be a silly show, but I really, really do appreciate everything the team's done. We've put out 350 videos. We've had 200,000 views, which is crazy, I reckon, for a single year. The year's not even done yet. 200 views on the channel. We've added 700 subscribers. Thank you if you have signed up and become a subscriber of the Hoops Crew this year, and to everyone else that's joined us in the early days as well. We've got 2,700 followers on Twitter, or X now, so getting close to 3,000 on that, and 1,300 on Instagram as well. And we launched the Discord. Finally, Paul, we launched the Discord. Took me long enough, didn't it? Got there in the end. But Jake, let's get some votes. Not that these are the games. These are the players that actually didn't play a game. But we're going to start, as I said, we're going to treat this as a little bit of a player review as well. So, Jake, I want you to take us through the players on the list this year that didn't get a vote, but also didn't get to play a game. But the players that maybe viewers of the Hoops Crew want to know a little bit about how they went at VFL level. So I'll hand over to you, mate.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
The classic mute.
Classic.
The mute button got me again.
The producer,
in an attempt to be professional, and mute myself while I was sucking on a can. Thank you. It's a nice way to start the show. It's a muted. It's a nice way to start the show talking about the VFL players. Unfortunate for these lads that they didn't maybe get a chance on the big stage. As you guys know, and anyone who's listened to one of our shows knows, I've watched all the VFL games the last couple of seasons and love doing it. So I've got some thoughts on these players. I'll whip through, and I've basically here, lads, you're all chaps to me. I've divided out some into some winners and some losers. That's what I've done here. So in the winning column, I've got Jay Polkinghorne, Mitch Edwards, Xavier Ivisic, and Patrick Rechko and Joe Pike. Now, obviously, we had some delistings, and some of them were my winners. But regardless whether they're on the Cats list or not, they are winners in my eyes with what they achieved. Some players who sort of I felt had incomplete years were Jacob Mollier, Lennox Hoffman, Keaton Mattify-Forbes, and Killian Burke. And some players that I thought had basically lost years. Toby Conway, Cam Guthrie, Jake Collar-Jasny. So I'll start with, I want to focus on one player, if you don't mind, from each section who, just give you an example. So Toby Conway for me, lost year. 3 games. He averaged 6 clearances, 23.6 hit-outs. He's a monster when he's healthy. Whenever he's healthy, you're like, oh my goodness, we've got the second coming of Brad Ottens. Like, he looks for all money like a game-changing ruckman. But as anyone who's watched any amount of the Cats knows, getting this guy on the park has been almost impossible. And I love Toby Conway. I think he can be the future. I love that we've got him on that extended deal so we don't have to rush him in. But you can understand why Paul's done great videos about the Cats going out and chasing Rowan Marshall. Because 3 games, my benchmark this year, I said I wanted him to play 10 plus games and importantly, finish the back half of the season healthy. And we got the complete opposite. He played 3 games and then went, and now he's had to have, I think is it surgery he's had in the off season. So it's another interrupted year for him and a year that's probably going to interrupt the start of his next one. So that was a guy who's had a year that was lost for me. Incomplete grades, as I said, Mollier, Hoffman, Mattify-Forbes, and Killian Burke. I want to pluck out Keaton Mattify-Forbes as a player who he played in 13 games. He averaged 10.7 disposals, 2 marks, kicked 6 goals, 3 in those 13 games, and he was swung all over the place. He was tried in up forward. He was tried down back. Sometimes he was out on a wing. He's got talent. You can see why they drafted him. He's a strong, powerful athlete. He's got a booming kick. He's a left footer who can kick an easy 70 meters. But he's really raw. He's really raw, and I think we just didn't see development enough to give him a big tick this year that was a win. So, look, I think he's got room to grow, and I think he can grow, but part of that will probably be working out where he best fits so he can sort of develop a real strong number 1 strength in terms of whether that's in the back line or the forward line, and then you can build a bit of sort of, I suppose, flexibility positionally around that. Once he's got something he can hang his hat on. But the winners, I already did a video about Xavier Ivicic and Patrick Rechko, who have since been delisted. So if you want my thoughts on them, go on over there. I'm going to cheat here.
Chase a kiss of death here.
Yeah, I know.
It used to be Paul. Paul interviewed Jed Hughes and
North
barely
Melbourne
played.
next year. So Mitch Edwards, I'm going to sneak in quickly here. 7 games, he averaged 14.3 hitouts, 3.1 clearances. Importantly, he ticked the benchmark I set for him, which was to finish the season healthy so he can get a solid run into 2026. And his last game against the Swans for the season was 23 touches, 3 marks, 21 hitouts, and 11 clearances. So big finish to the year for him, and he is talented. So I think he can be a player that does a role for us moving forward. But Kiri in the chat will be happy because Jay Polkinghorne is the last player I'm going to talk about here. He played 17 games. He kicked 13 goals, 16. He averaged 3.5 marks, 2.5 tackles. He started like a house on fire, had a tricky middle stretch to his season, but then I sort of thought he started to come good again at the end of the year. He needs to work more on his one-on-one marking. I think his one-on-one contest stuff, he just needs to develop a bit more craft and understanding around that. But something I loved about him was even when he didn't have a big day, in terms of taking marks or kicking goals, defensive effort was a massive tick. For a big key forward like him to average 2.5 tackles per game, big ticks. It's a way to stay involved even when you're not hitting the scoreboard. So massive win this year for Jay Polkinghorne. And I'm going to shut up now, but that is my VFL report.
You've done well, Jack, and we are well ahead of schedule. So you feel free, people, if you want to go on a little bit longer. We've got a bit of a buffer here. Anyone else, Paul or John? Is there any players that you're from that list that you're really hoping gets a game, or maybe was a little bit unlucky not to get a game this year? Maybe I'll start with John. Do you want to go first?
Well, I haven't watched barely any VFL this year, so I basically rely on Jake's information for all my thoughts on the VFL. But
as we all do.
But yeah, I think all those winners, except for Izovic and Rescue, probably should get a game next year. By the way, Jake was talking about them. They seem like they're developing well and ready to take that next step. Like even if it's just 1 or 2 games, just give them that taste like George Stevens got. And, keep that hunger, keep that determination in them to keep going to reach that next level. But, as we know, the Cats' developed the way they do for a very good reason, and they only play them when they believe they are ready. So yeah, I'll trust the Cats when they're ready to play. They'll be playing.
Hopefully not too far away. I'll jump to you in a sec, Paul, but I think Polkinghorne was one for me that I would have loved to see him get a taste of it, but it's probably just the timing of how well the team was going, and just wasn't really an opening there, and so he just didn't get a look this year. But hopefully he gets a bit of a look next year and gets maybe 4 or 5 games into him early days. But anyone that you're particularly keen to see or felt maybe was a bit unlucky, Paul, from that list?
Let's give the community what they want, and I'm on board with this one. Justice for Jed. Jed Buse needed more game time, and we may have just done a little bit better on the grand final if he played. And Roaming's just dropped in the chat. We all know what you need to say, Paul. I know exactly where this is going. Jed Buse, he's an absolute ripper. For 18 months, I've been saying, like, the specific example I always cited when it was like why I felt he was necessary in our starting 23 was for Charlie Cameron. And he played his one good game for the year on grand final day. Jed Buse wasn't there to do anything about it. So, good work, selection committee. Justice for Jed.
Don't get Lucas started on that. On Chris Scott.
Yeah.
I'll time him out again. Don't worry
I was
about
just going to say, just before we move on, I just had some stats to sort of back up the stuff about Buse, because when he did play in the VFL this year, I think it was only 8 games rather. 8 games that Jed Buse played, averaged 19.4 disposals. He averaged just a tick under 4 marks per game, a couple of tackles per game. And he was such a driving force out of that back line for the VFL team. Yeah. And I don't think that the Cats get selection wrong all that often, and far be it for me to sort of take pot shots, but he looked good in the VFL. Like, there was a lot of people saying, oh, Busey's cooked. Well, not when he was playing in the second half of the VFL season for the Cats, and people can say, oh, it's a different level and all that sort of thing. But I thought the things he did translate between levels. He still has speed. He still has power. He's still a really good kick. And he's experienced. He's a premiership player. So no, what I saw from him at VFL level, I was surprised that he never really got his way back in.
And look, he still made a couple of appearances in the. Oh, go on, Ben.
I was just going to say, one thing he's not good at is washing dishes. So he probably needs to just put them in the dishwasher and avoid those sharp knives, and then maybe he can play half the season. That'll be good. Sorry, Paul, I'll cut you off.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, I mean, I'm glad we went down that path instead. But like the couple AFL appearances he did make, 100% right. Like he continued to play the way he's always played, and he would rebound incredibly well. He'd lock down the defenders he was playing on. He never, in the couple appearances he made, never failed in what his long-standing job has been on that list. So I'm a bit surprised that he wasn't getting the number of games he got, let alone the fact that he wasn't there at the most important time of the season. But is what it is. Right now, as we stand, we're obviously, it's day one of trade period, and his name gets floated around from time to time. Who knows at this point? He might just do a dad and he's do a scenario like his dad and find himself a new club. I don't know, but it'd be disappointing if that's the case.
I think he's going to go back to pole vaulting. That was his profession before he became an AFL player. And I saw some footage of him the other day with his girlfriend back on the pole vault. I think it must have been down at Landy Fields. And he did pretty well, actually. He got up there. It's somewhere on Instagram out there. I don't know if you've seen it. Quite funny. But he knows how to get up on that pole.
I thought he was going to say he was going to move on to pole dancing or something. Just quickly, I do have an issue with Jed Buse opening a cafe and missing the opportunity to call it Jed's Brews or Jed Brews.
Jed's Brews.
I don't know. Come on. It's like such a layup. Just do it. Anyway.
I mean, drop the link in the chat. Someone drop the Betty's Cafe link in the chat. Get around. If you live in Geelong, you got to get down there and spend $5 on a latte or whatever you have.
$5. That's cheap for a latte.
It is cheap. It is cheap. It must be a small one. Mates rates. I should get mates rates. Come on, Jed. Look after us. We're showing you some love in the chat. Anyway, but yeah, unfortunately, We haven't heard anything about Cam Guthrie yet, have we? So we don't know what's happening with Cam. He hasn't retired, and they haven't delisted him. So I guess they'll see how the trade period plays out over the next few weeks. I'm sure there'll be some videos coming down the line.
He really
Sorry,
did,
Jack.
like, I don't know, he was up and down, like not up and down the pole, but up and down in terms of his form. Cam Guthrie, four games in the VFL, averaged only 10 touches, 1.2 marks. Like, there's moments where you looked at him and was like, oh, there he is. There's Cam Guthrie. And something that stuck out to me watching him in the VFL was like, you forget he's actually so big. Like, he's big and strong and sort of this powerful midfielder, but it's bloody tragic. Like, his body has just like betrayed him, I guess.
Thankfully, it was after the 2022 premiership and not before it. So
Exactly. We got it. He got his premiership, but let's hope we can get
Exactly.
another season or two out of him. I think the hunger's there, and I got a feeling the Cats are going to want to just roll the dice one last time, but I could be wrong. I could look
the mind is
stupid
there,
tomorrow
but
morning.
whether the body's willing is the whole other thing.
They might
He was that
delist
one
him tomorrow
player
morning.
that felt like we were missing in the grand final. Is that Cam Guthrie type player, just to get in there, get the ball out to Max Holmes and Bailey Smith. Like, yeah, he would have made a big difference. But as we said, it's just his body is failing him, unfortunately, and hopefully we see him back out there.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And Jake, and obviously Toby Conway, and we'll
Mm.
sort out that coughing, Toby, in the bed. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the next group of players. And this is, you went a bit early there with Jed Hughes, Paul, but that's all right. So this is your section, John. These are the players that did play in the team this year, Jed Hughes being one of them, but didn't, surprisingly, maybe not for all of them, but surprisingly didn't poll a single vote from us in the Hoopies all year. So, John, over to you.
There's definitely a big surprise in there, I reckon. So we've got, obviously, chat's not going to like this, sorry, but I'll rip off the Band-Aid straight away, and that is Jed Hughes. Didn't get a game, got four games this year, and unfortunately, we decided not to give him a vote. So you can all tell us how terrible we are. Bring it on.
Yep.
And then, yeah. So, and the next one, Mitch Duncan, 9 games. Yeah, again, didn't get a vote from us. I feel like when he did come into the side, he played fairly well, but at the end of the day, we still got some pretty outstanding players in this team. And then the next one, I'm sort of surprised that none of us gave him at least one vote for one certain game, but that is Jack Martin.
Yes.
That game against
the Macarena.
Yeah.
Port.
Can't remember. Port, when he kicked 4 goals in like a couple of minutes as a sub. Yeah, he didn't get a vote. But I thought, the claw! I thought he played well all year. But unfortunately, just not well enough to get one of my votes. And obviously, none of you guys either felt like he deserved a vote.
Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, everyone.
I mean, reality is you don't get votes for 5 minutes of good football. You get
Exactly.
you get votes for the full 100 plus.
Absolutely. The next
Port
one
was shit.
Oh, they were pretty terrible.
Yep.
They made everyone look pretty good that day.
Yeah.
Next one is Ollie Henry, 15 games. This one, I don't think is as surprising as a few of the others. I feel like when he came in, he played all right, but it was nothing there that really stood out to us and to myself. Like he was never really finding that form of last year. Like he seems so off. He seems so off this year. Just not sure what's going on with him, if it's a confidence thing or if he's having some issues with his body or some other personal stuff. But yeah, he just had a very off year this year, unfortunately.
Mix of a few things, I'd say, with him. Just probably some stuff to do with a friend off field. Won't name the person, but and plus also just the mix up, the change up of the forward line structure, and just he's a bit of a confidence player. And when he's down, he's really down. So hopefully he can sort of find something again next year. And
fingers crossed.
Yeah, be back to that sort of prelim version of Ollie that we had that nearly got us into a grand final a year and a bit ago. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I was surprised he played 15 games. I actually was when I saw that. I'm like, oh, really? We tried to stick with him for most of the year, and in the end, I think they just decided we're going to have to try something different here. It's just not working, and we're nearly coming up to finals, and we've got to find a solution. So unfortunately, he's the one that had to make way. Last year it was Sam DeConning, but this year Ollie Henry's had to sort of take a back seat this time of year.
Yep. And then
To
the last player. Oh, sorry. No?
I was just going to say, to be fair on Ollie Henry, four games in the VFL, he kicked 8 goals, 8, averaged 16 touches, 4 marks a game. Like, he was so close, those games he played in the VFL, to absolutely ripping the lid off a game. And, you know, if you kick 14 goals, you know, or rather like 12 goals, 6 or something instead of 8, like, you're probably feeling
You're back
a lot
in the
better
frame to get
about
selected
yourself.
again.
But, like, to be fair, yeah. So I think there was signs there that he's not that far off. Like, I really don't think, and I think you can't underestimate how big the change was to that forward line with Patrick Dangerfield in there. Like, there were people in the first month of the season saying Jeremy Cameron needed a spell in the 2s.
Lucas.
Like, so then you look at a player like, yeah. So, not to drop anyone in it, but yeah, like,
But Lucas,
I think
Lucas.
Possibly at one point.
I don't think that I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see Ollie Henry back to his best in 2026 and in this team again.
Yeah. All right. And now to the last player that didn't get any votes. And
this is terrible. It is terrible.
It is terrible. And I think the reason why this player didn't get any votes is because of consistency. He didn't shine out bright in many games. He was just this consistent player that did things consistently throughout the year, was really good. Like, played every single game. He's a really great player, does everything well, pressure player, gets those intercept marks in the forward 50, kicks some really crucial goals. The chat's going to probably lose their mind when I say his name. I don't want to say it, but I will. That is Brad.
Sean Manor.
Lucas has just popped in to talk Ollie Henry as well.
Yeah, Brad Close. Never got a vote off us, which in hindsight is oversight by myself. I'm sure you guys will see that, but I still stand by it that he was pretty consistent, but he wasn't ever one of our best players. He was always just that role player, played his part, played his role really well, did everything that was asked of him, but he never outshone the big players.
He's very unassuming. He just goes about his business quietly. Is almost the definition of the old quiet achiever, right? Like, he just goes about his business, does it to a great standard, but there's no frills, no fuss. He kicks a goal and the celebration's borderline non-existent. Like, he just rolls on. It's great.
Like
I love
Papley.
it. But
Papley, the best celebrator, tongue out, finger up.
Sorry,
That's
everyone.
what she said. I think that with Brad Close, like, I would ask this of our listeners: go back into AFL tables and you pick out the game that you would have given Brad Close votes for. It's pretty bloody hard when you got Patrick Dangerfield looking like a what did I call him? A nuclear tipped unicorn, or Jeremy Cameron on his way to a century, or Bailey Smith racking up 30 plus touches. Like,
Max Holmes,
you tell us the game.
Tom Atkins.
Yeah, when you're the 4th or the 5th best player, probably maybe 4 or 5 times this year, it's unfortunate, but I reckon if we did this every year, there'd be someone like a Brad Close that sadly misses out. So, Brad, if you're watching, I don't think you are. I think you're in Vietnam or somewhere at the moment. But no,
he could be watching.
Apologies, Brad. Well, you never know. He's sitting by the pool watching the Hoopies. Don't they all do that? I know.
Absolutely.
Max Holmes and Mitch Edwards are at Oktoberfest at the moment, probably 20 beers deep. But you never know. They've probably got it on their phone on the table, watching the Hoopies. Yeah, that's
No doubt.
interesting. But yeah, Jack Martin, no votes for the 4 goals. That was probably one that I feel a little bit bad at now. Even 1 vote maybe could have thrown it his way, but no sympathy votes for Mitch Duncan either. So sorry, Mitch.
It is tough to pick 3 players out of the 23 that play each week. And, sometimes we just pick players that we thought played a good game. And, unfortunately, great players do miss votes sometimes. So, yeah, but as I said, I think he was still, as Paul said, he's just that quiet achiever. He does everything that's required of him, and he doesn't step out of those boundaries. And that's fine, because we need those players. We need those role players who just play their role and do what we need them to do without going nuts.
Beautiful. All right, let's move on to some vote getters. Now, Paul, we're going to throw to you here. This was the Sambo section, but we're going to throw to Paul for this part here, and then we'll just work our way through it. And if Sambo jumps in, we'll slot him in somewhere else. But these were all the vote getters that didn't make our top 10 for 2025. So, Paul, take it away.
So in 24th place, Jack Bowes received 1 vote for the season. I'll note, I gave him that. Not Ben.
Oh,
you. I tossed him that one. Sam de Koning also with just the 2 votes. I acknowledge that in round 1. I can't remember what he did in round 1, but apparently I tossed him 2 there as well, which, all right, cool. I don't know. Maybe I was a bit unhinged early in the season. Jai Clark. When did he get his? Was it?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Tell you what, it was round 2. It was round 2. Johnny gave him 2 votes in round 2. Clearly came out the box okay. I think finished the season much stronger. Obviously, we've had a lot of positive things to say about him and actually his finals performances. So hopefully that's a big launch pad for a stronger 2026 from him. Mitch Nevitt with the 2 votes. Also in 20th place, Reece Stanley on 2 votes, 20th place. Oisin Mullen with a few less than I perhaps would have expected, given some of the tagging jobs that he did over the course of the year. He's in 19th place with 5 votes.
Yeah.
Georgie Boy-Stevens playing 2 games, got 6 votes. He's in 18th place. Lawson Humphreys and Mark O'Connor sit equal in 16th place on 7 votes. I think Lawson, quite a season, kind of that second-year blues, still performed very, very well. But probably didn't hit quite the same heights that he did in 2024. Still love the direction he's heading in. I think he's going to be absolutely phenomenal for us in the next few years. Connor O'Sullivan sitting in 15th place with 8 votes. Tyson Stengel, again, another one probably quietish kind of year relative to what we're used to. 9 votes, 14th place. Shannon Neal continues to develop, 13 votes and 13th place. Zach Guthrie, 12th with 15 votes. And Jack Henry, the foreskin. No, we don't call him that anymore. No, he's redeemed himself. That nickname no longer sticks. 11th place with 17 votes.
He could have won.
And I mean, despite the lack of votes, and it was kind of highlighted before. Sorry, I can't recall who said it, but with the Dangers and the Jeremy Camerons and the Bailey Smiths and the Max Holmes and the Tom Stewarts of the world, kind of hoovering up all the votes week in, week out. It did kind of make it hard for a lot of these guys to probably get the recognition they deserve for playing some really great games over the season. So I'm glad we were actually at different points able to find ways to acknowledge them. Even if it was just 1 vote, 2 votes, they had a very small number, but just to acknowledge, okay, in this game, we saw you, we recognize what you did. Congratulations to our 11th through 24th placed players.
Absolutely.
Yes, and there's some players that could have easily have got more there, and you feel bad for Zach Guthrie because, I mean, maybe it wasn't his best year, but you think Zach Guthrie's a top 10 player at the Cats, don't you? I'd like to think he is. Tyson Stengel probably should be, but anyway. Jake, what do you think?
I just wanted to shout out Connor O'Sullivan. Someone said earlier about Sean Manor, a good Albury lad. Like Connor O'Sullivan coming from the Albury Tigers. I watched him in the 2023 O&M Grand Final, which they did lose to Yarrawonga, but it was an absolute ripper game. And Connor O'Sullivan looked the goods even then, 2.5, 3 years ago. So last year in the twos, he plays 18 games, racks up 100 marks, averages 15 disposals, and then comes in this year. And I think originally, we talked early in the season, like, oh, maybe this will be good for him. He'll get a few games before Colin Jasny comes back or whoever it might be. And he goes and like locks down the spot. And I thought he was close to, if not in my votes on grand final day. Like, what a talent. And to put it together as quickly as he has is pretty freaking remarkable to do it in that way. Like, he's come in and looked like year 2, he's a locked starter. So, yeah, I think he's incredible. So I wanted to really acknowledge him. And look, he probably could have got more votes, but he's a special player.
Welcome, Clint.
Enjoy your Ferrari, mate.
Yeah.
Very good.
And quickly cycling back to Zach Guthrie, he's the one inconsistency in our. So of all the players who didn't feature in our top 10, Zach Guthrie is the one player who didn't feature in our top 10, who was a part of the top 10 in the Hoopies Medal.
There you go.
So maybe we were just
pretty
excessively
accurate.
harsh on the bloke, or didn't recognise him nearly enough.
I think we
finished
just didn't recognise him nearly enough. He was absolutely exceptional this year, and possibly due to the fact that he looks so much like Tom Stewart that maybe we mistook him for Tom Stewart too many times. Zach Guthrie. Yeah, what an absolute legend he has become, and a perfect reason of why taking your time with players is an excellent choice. Because when he first started, we all knew how long it took him.
Don't make me pull up the stats.
Oh, pull up
You
the
might have
stats,
to pull up
Jake.
the stats, but
Come on, Jake.
Yeah, what a career he has had! What an achievement for Zach Guthrie, because he is becoming one of our
Most reliable
important defenders. Yeah, most reliable, most important. Each week he can rely on him to do absolutely everything. So yeah, it's a shame that he didn't get as many votes as he did from us. But I tell you what, doesn't mean we don't appreciate what he does any less. Like, he is incredible.
So Zach Guthrie, Zach Guthrie's a player I bring up a lot in the VFL coverage on the Patreon, because people talk about guys like Jai Clark, people talk about Mitch Nevitt. You've got to cut them, get rid of them, they're dead weight, etc. Zach Guthrie, 2017 is when he first played for the Cats. And from 2017 to 2021, 5 seasons, he played 33 games. He averaged 6 games a season, his first 5 years at the club. His next 4, he's played no fewer than 21 games in any season. 21 in the premiership year, 23, 25, and 26. Some players take longer to develop. You look at guys like Zach Guthrie, it took him a while to fill out. Once he filled out and he was confident in his body, he became confident in his game. Everything improved when he felt a little bit more powerful. He started using the ball better. So you look at guys like Mitch Nevitt or Jai Clark and go, oh, they don't really use the ball that well. They look a bit skinny. Give them a few years in the system. Not everyone develops at the same rate. And Mitch Nevitt's one in particular, I think, that tall guys, I think, take that little bit longer to fill out. Like, there's a lot of frame to fill out. I still think Mitch Nevitt might turn out down the track to be an exceptional player for Geelong.
Well, he's the closest comparison to Guthrie, isn't he? Because we've, unlike a lot of players that we sort of have a look at them for 2, maybe 3 years and then delist them if they're not quite up to it, we've stuck with Mitch Nevitt for that little bit longer, and we're hoping that he rewards us, hopefully as soon as next year. I mean, he could be that player in 2026 that just explodes. Like, we've had someone, it's usually been the young kids the last couple of years, in Dempsey and this year O'Sullivan, but maybe next year is the year of Mitch Nevitt. I know, Paul, you'd be absolutely over the moon if that happened, because he's one of your favourites.
I've been banging that drum for a while now, so fingers crossed.
Yeah. So he could be that one that we might just see play all 20 games or 20-something games next year and really just like, oh, I can't believe, where's this guy come from? Well, he's always been there. He's just, as you said, Jake, just needed to give him the time and to have the patience. And all of a sudden, he's everyone's favourite player. And we never said a bad word about you, Mitch. I guarantee you.
Well, I
everyone
didn't.
will just... No, you never did. But Jake probably never did either. But yeah, I'll probably need to apologise to Jai Clark at some stage next year, because he'll be a top 10 player for the Cats and getting 20 Brownlow votes. But fingers if he comes on good. But I think Mitch Nevitt's the one for me that has that big upside in 2026, and I hope he brings it. It'll probably mean someone comes out of the side if he actually does become that player, but that's a good thing, isn't it? As much as I hate seeing the players that we love make way for someone else, and you just want the team to get stronger and stronger, especially the younger guys coming through. The Max Holmes sort of the posse around that 22 to 24 sort of the Lawson Humphreys and all that sort of crew. That's going to be the next group of players to take us to a premiership, and hopefully we can get one while we've still got Paddy and Jezza in the side.
Look, if Paddy stops trying to break his teammates' arms, concuss them, and
Jesus Christ,
wrecking ball style bullshit, then maybe our players will have a chance.
Yeah,
possibly.
Yep. Didn't Jezza take out Gary Rowan at one point, or was that the other way around? It might have been the other way around. Anyway,
Gary ran into Jezza and
yep. Poor Jezza.
Came out worse for it.
We still love you, Gary Rowan. I'm still sad that he had to leave. I felt like he had another year in him, but unfortunately not. Anyone else want to say?
Would be very upset about the Gary Rowan delisting. He was devastated. I'm pretty sure he locked himself in his room for at least a month and wouldn't come out for anything.
We've been there.
Strike.
Any other comments on this group of players before we launch into our top 10, which is we've allocated about 5 minutes per player for the top 10. So
I'm just going to.
Shannon Neal can be the bolter of 2026.
Yeah, I was just about to shout out Shannon Neal.
Yep.
I picked him for having a big year. I sort of put out a few things I wanted to see from him. And I feel like I saw everything that I wanted for him to prove to us and the Cats fans and the Cats that he is definitely that key forward of the future. And I feel like he's taken each step perfectly, and he's done everything that I think everyone wanted to see. He kicked close to 50 goals. He looked really strong. He got some really incredibly good marks, kicked some really important goals. An incredibly straight kicker of the ball as well. So, yeah, a breakout year, as Paul said, for Shannon Neal, and can't wait to see him back out there next year and just continue on this great form. So bring on next year Shannon Neal.
There's
sorry.
two players.
I am sorry. I apologise, Roaming, for calling Geelong a middling team. We were a quarter away from winning the grand final. Maybe not as close as we were to beating Brisbane in the prelim of last year, but felt like we were really close there, especially Max Holmes put us in front. So, yeah, I got that absolutely wrong. Apologies. Sorry, Jake.
There's two.
It sits alongside other
good.
famous
There's
Ben
two.
takes like Essendon will be in the top 4 in 2024 and whatever other bullshit he spits next year.
Don't worry, there'll be something.
Mine one was 2024, Jake Kolajasny, like, it might be time to move on. And then he went out and had an absolute career year. I was just going to say a couple of notes. Scars HD has just asked if we think it'd be a good idea to put a New Zealand team in to make it a 20-team league after Tassie joins. And I'd just say this. They already beat us in enough sports. Like, do you really want to put like a New Zealand team in? They already beat us at rugby. They've already won a Cricket World Test Championship. They already come in and like dominate the A-League. Didn't we have a new A-League team last year who came in and was really good? No, we don't need to invite anyone else in who might beat us. So, no, my two quick player notes was just two Irishmen. Mark O'Connor, fantastic career year for Mark O'Connor. He was a player I had on the bubble at the start of the year going, will he be in the team? Will he not be? Will he just be VFL depth? He found a new level to his game and locked up his spot. So, massive tick for O'Connor. But O'Sheen Mullen is the one. Watch O'Sheen Mullen. I have said, and I'll say it again, since he joined, there is a player in there. When he came over, right, so he was a mythic creature over in Ireland for the way he played Gaelic football. In transit from there to here, he becomes a raw ball of clay. But over the last few seasons, you can just see the Cats chipping that ball of clay away, and you see little bits of what he could be. Excuse my French, but that fucking goal in the grand final, like, that gave me absolute tingles, because that shows more than just a tagger, more than just someone who can negate people. That is an O'Shane Mullen. There's a timeline that exists where O'Shane Mullen plays on all the league's best midfielders and learns the position, and we can start using him in an attacking way because he makes other professional athletes look slow. He makes other professional athletes look like they lack explosivity. He is a very, very, very special athlete. So if he ever puts it together in an attacking sense, like, look out, because he's a seriously beastly athlete.
I completely agree, and I appreciate the shout out for Mark O'Connor. I think a lot of us had him packing his bags, heading back to Ireland after, winning a premiership. Pat on the back for that, but maybe the time was coming to an end. But he's absolutely had a cracking year, a fantastic performance from him. And O'Shane, I think a lot of us, pretty much, I reckon 75% of the Geelong Cats supporting community didn't want a bar of O'Shane Mullen after round 3 or 4. And then just like, he was absolutely useless. I think I was just hearing everywhere on socials, and hasn't he turned us around in the last 2/3 of the year and into the finals as well? So
that's why they should listen to us.
Exactly.
Proper information, proper feedback.
and don't listen to me. Unless Johnny, I will call you out. Johnny, I will call you out though. You did say Toby Conway was going to win All Australian. I think that was a couple of years ago. You did say that.
It could still happen. It could
Ben's
still
got
happen.
those receipts.
Absolutely. And I stand by it. I didn't say when, did I?
No, you didn't say when.
Yeah, so I still got a chance.
You got another 15 years to keep track of this. Well,
absolutely.
I don't know, 10.
I only say it because I've got his jumper in my background.
You do. I can see that there. Now, Jake, I think we're into our top 10. So this is where it gets real. How are we going? We're actually done pretty good for time. Right. So, Jake, over to you. In 10th place.
In 10th place in the Hoopies this year. I feel like this is like Eurovision. I need to sort of put on my best like Lithuanian voice and tell you
Yugoslavia
voting for it. That's right. I'm very happy to be here to give you my... Yeah, okay. Better stop before it gets to cultural misappropriation.
I was going to say, we don't want to get cancelled just yet.
Not yet. Tara's watching.
Wait for Ben to justify it first.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So 2024, obviously, Shawnee Manor comes into our lives and we're like, what's this guy going to be? And he gets dropped early, works his ass off in the VFL, comes back, and has been basically undroppable since. So this season, he averages 18 and a bit disposals. He's kicked, 31 goals for the season,
Crazy.
112 tackles, 79 clearances, 20 goal assists. So he's had a direct hand in 51 goals for the Cats this year. He is 10th in our Hoops votes with 32. And honestly, one of the best stories of the AFL the last few seasons. Like, for a bloke who probably thought that professional football opportunities were going to have passed him by, to come in your mid-20s and do what he's done. And not only, like, he didn't just bring a skill set, he actually grew the skill set once he got here. It's not like he was the finished article. Like, he came in and he learned and he developed, and we dropped him because he wasn't doing some stuff well, and he just went to a different level. So, definitely our rising star nomination, the youngster Sean Manor. What a season. One of the best. I think, I'll say this, I think it's apt that he is 10th, because I think in most given weeks, Sean Manor is amongst our 10 best players.
That's crazy that he finished 10th. I mean, this is a silly little YouTube channel that we do votes on or whatever, but to finish 10th in a side that came
We're a highly
runner-up in the
respected media organisation.
Sorry, we are. Yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Turtles t-shirts.
What an effort, though. Honestly, should get t-shirts like that. 10th is just remarkable, and you could make an argument that he was could have been ranked a little bit higher. So, I mean, we'll get to some players down the order, and you'll probably go, "Oh, how are you going to squeeze this player out, though?" But what an achievement from him 2 years ago in VFL. Now, one of our better players in 2025. Absolutely incredible journey that he's been on. Got to be incredibly proud of that effort.
Absolutely, he's done well. He's fast become one of my favourite players in the team, and as Jake said, he had to go back to the VFL and learn how to play AFL, and tell you what, to his credit, he went back and he learned, and he is reaping the benefits. And yeah, all because of his hard work and determination.
Thanks, guys. Just,
This
I don't know why that got me
just
laughing. We should have had a segment for the darts, but we'll schedule that for next Hoopies night.
Oversight.
22. Oversight on my part. Sorry. Any thoughts on Manor, Paul?
No, ripper season. In some respects, you look at 10th and you go, geez, maybe it's a bit low. Like maybe we dudded him still, but it's still a fantastic effort. Again, when you look at some of the names who we'll discuss shortly, who are ahead of him, he's in good company,
Exactly.
and he belongs in that company.
Now, Jack, you had 32 votes. I can't remember if you said 32 votes, Jake, but yeah, 32, which is just a little bit, well, quite a bit ahead of Jack Henry in 11th spot, actually. So we must have just really had 10 players in mind most of the year, and that is a significant jump. All right, 9th position. We're getting serious now. 9th position. This is a player that I absolutely adore. He is probably my favourite player. It used to be Brad Close, but I think I never really appreciated this guy as much as I really should have. And I think the AFL world, at least the Geelong community, really knows how valuable he is. And I feel like he is the most valuable player at the club. I know we've got Jezza, I know we've got Danger and a bunch of other superstars, Bailey Smith, Max Holmes. But for me, this guy is the MVP. He's not going to win the Hoopies, but his name is Mark Blitzarves, the Swiss Army
Brown
knife.
Fang.
He's incredible. 35 votes this year from us. Absolutely incredible. Considering he was already having a great season, and then Reece Stanley goes down with a hamstring awareness or twinge or whatever, and he says, "I'll put my hand up and I'll be in the ruck for the next couple of weeks if you need me to." And he absolutely dominated to the point where it made it really, really hard for the selectors in the week leading up to the grand final. Like, what do we do? Do we bring Reece back? How do we use Blitzarves? It just probably
opted to make a mistake.
It gave us too much to think about. He was going that well, and then you can use him in so many different ways, and it's just I mean, I don't want to sort of dwell on the grand final too much, but it probably wasn't his best game, but I think he's just been incredible the whole year. And if we could have 22 players like Mark Blitzarves, we'd win the grand final 5 years in a row. He's that good. Anyway, that's my little rant about him. Anyone else want some thoughts on Blitzarves? I just absolutely love the bloke, and as I said, wish we had more of him.
You're not alone there. Like, I know, speaking for the chaps, we all love him as well. He is an absolutely incredible athlete, and just like once in a generation type player that can play anywhere. Yes, he's not going to get the recognition much outside of Geelong. Other fandoms won't really see what he does, but to us, he is bloody special, and what an incredible career he's had. Like 2 Carji degrees, a premiership, and I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 All-Australians. So yeah, he is a very special player for the Cats.
And he won Best Clubman at the Carji too, which was terrific. Couldn't
Well
quite displace Tom Atkins, of course, but yeah, absolutely well deserved, Paul. Paul, any thoughts on Blitz or Jake?
Oh, sorry.
Anyone?
Definitely go to Paul first because I've only got bullshit.
That's usually where I thrive, mate. So don't stress too much about it. No, I mean, fantastic season from him. Ben kind of highlighted the quandary that the club faced going into the grand final with all that he'd done. And look, we can debate it till the cows come home. I've dropped my 2 cents in there, just a little drive-by for the selection committee just before. But you could even see, setting aside whether it was it the right or wrong decision, you could see just the great level of respect that Fags and the team over there at Brisbane had for him, because the way they played him in that last quarter when Reece Stanley got subbed and Mark Blitzarves went to the ruck, and everyone knew, like, okay, this is it. Their chips in. And the fact that they had clearly planned for this, and they put Cam Rayner on the edge of the square. Fuck that bloke. But they put him on the edge of the square and had him tear in and just hammer him, because you knew he was going to try and palm the ball to himself and take off and then connect with his teammates. And Cam Rayner just bolted off the square and poleaxed him. And they went that play a couple of times to great success. Sure, it didn't work well for us, but that just, I guess, the effort that they had to put in, the strategy that they looked to apply there, really just highlights how incredibly important he is to us.
No, well said.
Yep.
Bring it home,
Yeah,
Jake.
I was just going to say that. Well, let's be clear. Scars HD saying he still can't believe that pole dancing was brought up earlier. Scars, I think it's time. You've brought us the information on the darts championship. Can you dig in and tell us who's won the 2025 pole dancing championships? Go on over.
Also,
Also,
if you're shocked by that,
that's
then you
on
haven't watched enough of our
ESPN or
stuff,
something.
mate.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Paul.
Get views next year.
I see you in a lot of streams,
on
Scars HD. You need to do better.
Come
on Blitzarves, I think maybe his most important contribution to the Cats might not be known for another sort of 18 to 19 years, because what we need to happen is to instigate. I'm thinking probably Patrick Dangerfield at this point. Say in another 19 years, Patrick Dangerfield will be head of the AFL. The father-son rule will be reinstated. And Mark Blitzarves could yet produce a stable of, say, 6 athletic freaks.
Go 23.
And contribute 23 Mark Blitzarves children.
All called Mark Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Junior.
There's definitely opportunity there, for Blitzarves over the next, sort of maybe next couple of years to go out and look for the most compatible, athletic sort of mates to produce the best possible players, the best possible mutants for the Geelong Football Club to pick up in, say, 20 years. I think this is something that Geelong, they surely must be working on.
Procreate. Come on. Go. We'll
That's
give you a room. It's
Let's
all right.
get it happening.
Fornicate as much as you like. Just give us father, son,
Make it
father, daughter.
Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Moving on.
Get it over the line.
Sex.
Make it happen. Get sexy. All right.
We're starting
John.
to slip into Paul James show territory now.
For sure are. I reckon Sambo's going to turn up when we're into our top 3 vote, final 3. But if he can turn up. All right, now John, we're back to you for our 8th place. This guy's an absolute superstar.
Absolute superstar in 8th place, polling 41 votes, is our most lovable, high-flying, marking, rising star of 2024 is Ollie Dempsey. What a year for Ollie Dempsey. He is making a mockery of many teams' defensive lineup with how he just gets in the back and kicks goals or stands in a goal square that's going, I'm just waiting here for the team to get the ball to me and I'll kick a goal. Or he'll just soccer it through on the goal line right next to the goalpost. Like he is one of those freak players, and he's going to be an absolute superstar for the Cats. And well, he's not going to be a superstar because he already is a superstar for the Geelong Cats, and he has had an incredible year. He backed up 2024 perfectly in 2025, and I can only see upsides for Ollie Dempsey going into the future.
Definitely, he's got levels to go, John. I reckon we haven't seen the best of him yet. Wouldn't be surprised if he. And maybe this is a big call. I've made some big calls. I said Max Holmes was going to win the Brownlow 2 years ago, and that hasn't quite happened yet. But I feel like Ollie Dempsey's a top 10 player if he can keep climbing and adding strings to his bow. He's an absolute superstar. He'll keep improving. Jake or Paul, throw to one of you for some thoughts on Ollie.
Go for it, Jake.
I think Ollie Dempsey is one of the true freaks on this team. 2 games in 2022, 5 in 2023. And in that 2023 season, when I was watching the VFL, he torched that competition like few Geelong players have in the last few years. And 2024, he makes his mark. 2025, he doubles it. He goes one better. 35 goals, ridiculous. 73 tackles. I'll just say this with Ollie Dempsey. He is a player that right now is on the wing. Right now, is that outside player. I saw him play on ball a little bit in the VFL, and I absolutely think he can be Geelong's Chad Warner type of, that Isaac Heaney type player. Give him another couple of years. He's only been in the system 4 seasons now. Like, I think he can be a difference maker at another level, not just a bloke who chips in with the 30 goals, but a guy who can average 20 plus touches, can be put on ball if you need him. Like, that's the player I see him in. That Isaac Heaney, Chad Warner. Look at Isaac Heaney's stat lines, right? Sometimes where he has those games where he has like 30 touches, 8 clearances, and 5 goals. Ollie Dempsey is absolutely in position to do that sort of thing within the next few years.
Imagine that. If he turned into an Isaac Heaney, unstoppable. We'd be unstoppable next year.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
It'll be insane. And I'm pretty sure Scars did say Young ID won the pole dancing championships. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry.
Who won?
Hey, followed it up big times.
Yeah, well done.
Young
Scars.
ID.
True Young.
Crew Young ID. There you go, Crew. Well done to Crew.
Yeah, Crew.
Got to get a special graphic happening for Crew. In the background while you guys are talking, I'll prepare a graphic.
What
a bit later on the show.
Random championships can we get Scars to look up next?
Come on, Scars. Keep it coming, Scars. You're
Nice
winning the
curling.
vote.
Curling next.
Curling next.
For me, when it comes to Ollie, I think what you guys all said it, pretty well there. He's going to continue to build on his game. He's going to get bigger and stronger. He's already got the athletic traits. He burns his opponents. There'll still be that little bit of, as teams start to invest more and more time in him, he's going to need to adapt his game a little bit. You did see, whilst I think he got the better of Cal Archie on the wing grand final day, Archie did kick a couple goals against him. He kind of got himself linked up in some good ways at different stages during the game. So he'll continue to, I think, work on that balancing act that because he's so offensively minded that there is the risk that can come and bite you on the ass going the other way. He'll continue to work on his game and kind of buff those little edges out of it. But he is in such good shape to be an all-timer. And Gary shouted out before the query about him being an All-Australian. And I think there's so many problems with the way All-Australians are selected that they just want to throw your centre for midfielders everywhere they possibly can, and that includes, of course, the wing. To a point where we see all actual wingmen get torched regularly. So, there we go. I'm glad I have to talk over this. So wingmen, pole dancers.
Sorry.
Anyway, he'll continue to smash it. I love the direction he's heading in.
Terrific. All right, Jake. I'm going to give this was the Sambo one, and Sambo loves this fellow, but I'm sure you love him as well. So I'm going to throw this one your way. In 7th place in the Hoopies 2025
is we're in 7th place. Yes. Sorry, I wasn't listening. 7th place is it's not this guy. But the guy we're talking about could definitely done that in various fantasies that I've had. This is a player, one of the great leaders at the Cats. Just a terrific player, pretty much from the moment he got to the club. And I don't know why, but this year feels significant to me to look back on the careers of players. Like, it's not just the here and now. I guess the more footy you watch and the more great teams we're privileged to watch, the more you look back and go, gosh, we're lucky. We're so lucky to look back at these players who just year after year, 2 decades of champions. And Tom Stewart is one of those champions. 7th place in our votes with 42. He was talked about at different points this season. He's really not himself. He's actually hurting Geelong, was something I heard someone say at one point. A commentator. He's actually hurting the Cats at the moment.
It was probably
18.5 disposal. Yeah, probably. 7.35 marks per game. That was within the top sort of 4 or 5 seasons of his career. Just tough, uncompromising. The thing I love about Tom Stewart, the thing that epitomizes Tom Stewart for me, was I went along to the game against Richmond at the end of the season, and we all saw that second half turned into an absolute piss take with guys basically trying to play touch footy. There were 2 players on the field who seemed to be going, F this. One was Tom Atkins, and the other one was Tom Stewart. Tom Stewart was still flying around in the dying minutes of that game, being like, Tom Stewart only knows like 2 ways to play footy. Not at all, or 110%. And that's what I love about Stewie. I think he would have made a massive difference in the grand final because I think it would have prevented us having to move O'Sheen Mullen off McCluggage and onto Charlie Cameron. I think we've seen Stewart go head-to-head with Charlie Cameron at different times and actually do all right. So, yeah, another brilliant season. I think he is definitely in our top 10 players, even if you look at his season this year and go, it's slightly down on his previous output. He's a legend and, fully deserving of 7th place and one of my favourite Geelong players of all time. Tommy Stewart.
He is the one, just going back to the inconsistencies between us and Kaji, he's the one that swaps with Zach Guthrie. And again, maybe to our joke before, maybe we were just mixing the 2 of them up at different stages. But I mean, he plays this uncompromising football that we all love and adore. And he laboured at different points through the year. His body was just not up to shape at different stages, and he just kept soldiering on for the team. Did what you would want any vice captain or anyone in any sort of captaincy role, any leader within a club. He did exactly what you'd want them to do. And I loved the way he applied himself. And it's such a shame that he went down in the prelim there, because there is a little bit of me that wonders, what if he was out there on the day?
Yeah, it was a real shame that he wasn't there grand final day. But as Jake told me a few weeks ago when he was talking about Tommy Stewart, that he's one of those players that Cats fans, we all love him. And he's one of those players that every other fan base absolutely despises because of
just
Richmond. Richmond, definitely. Yeah.
Petty fucks.
Probably Hawthorn.
But he is an incredible player. And another one of those players that the Cats just picked out of absolutely nowhere, and he instantly became an absolute lethal weapon. And another reason why this BS talk about the Cats going over the budget cap is ridiculous, because Tom Stewart, where did we pick him, like 46 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the Cats just know how to find these absolute talented players that no one else can find and turn him into absolute superstars. And Tom Stewart is the leading example of that. He is an absolute freakish player. And yeah, 7th place is a good spot for him this year. As we said, he was injured for such a long time, and yet still to poll this many votes, finish 7th. Yeah, he's had an incredible year, and just shows how much of a competitor he is to work through those injuries and still have impact for this team.
Wasn't quite good enough to win the pole dancing world championship, but hopefully next year he can add that to his repertoire. But I'm not sure who this bloke is.
If
is that Clarko?
Is it Clarko? It could be Clarko.
No, he's not angry enough to be a Clarko.
No, not quite.
There's no phones through walls.
All right, Paul, you have the honour of giving us the 6th place vote getters, and this is the last one, if you're any good at your maths, before we get into our top 5. Paul, who is 6th place in the Hoopies this year?
So our 6th place getter accumulated 46 votes over the course of this year. He had a career high in kicks with 21 against the Gold Coast Suns. He had a career high, in any given game. Career high handballs in any given game, 19 against the Tigers in round 24. He had a career high marks in a game, which is a particularly impressive number for this individual, with 13 against the Eagles in round 12. I'm talking about Brian Myers, our sixth place getter this year with 46 votes, who had an absolutely fantastic season this year. Just that creativity, the flair. We've seen his game develop a lot since even the 2022 Premiership. We think a lot about was it 2023 when he had all of the when he racked up 2023 when he had a near world record number of goal assists in a season. We then saw that kind of dial back a bit the other way as he's been kind of working with that game and refining it and building balance to the way he plays the game. And I think that was best highlighted with the season he built this year. He's done some fantastic things. He's set up teammates. His score involvement figures, so not so much the goal assists, but the score involvement figures are through the roof. He's one of the stats that I've been paying a lot of attention to over the course of this year is the score launch. So it's those ones from 60, 70 and how you use the ball at that particular point in time. It's his career high in that figure. His disposal figures well up. His kick to handball ratio for someone who uses it like he does, I'm thrilled that it is tipped even further in favor of his kicking side of his game. He is absolutely unreal. And well and truly deserves sixth place, if not higher. We may be done at him, but he's been unreal this year. Love him.
When you look at the top five, you'll go, well, who are you going to drop in the top five, though? It's a tough one. All of them, yeah. I think at times Grime was, I said Blitzars was their most valuable player, and I still maintain that, but I felt like at some stage, a couple of times this year, I felt like Grime was our best player. He's terrific. When he's on, Geelong very rarely loses. There was one game, I think he was coming back from concussion and a trip to Noosa and whatever, and he had an absolute shocker, and we were all pretty, the whole Cats community got pretty down on him, but that was just his one bad game in about 4 years, really. He's really, really come on since the 2022 grand final. So he probably could have been a little bit higher, but I don't know. I think 6 is about right. I think Jackie might have said, or someone in the chat, that that's where he finished in the Kaji as well. So maybe we're not that too far off. Oh, and we've lost Jake. Unless he's turned invisible.
He just turned invisible for a tick.
Just for a little bit.
Just for a little bit. Grime Myers, incredible year by him. Another one of those players that is just a great player. He's like Brad Close. He does his role perfectly, but just that little bit more visible than Bradley Close, obviously, because Brad got
bit more dynamic.
Bit more dynamic, yeah. That crazy kicking action by him is incredible. Like, who would have thought kicking it like that would be so precise and so perfect, yet he's able to do it easily. And tell you, it's one of those kicks that just confuses oppositions every single time, and it's fantastic to watch.
He's got a nice little weighted kick as well. Those ones that just go the distance, just carry that over the top of a player, and he just finds those angles. He's incredible. And Paul, I never miss an opportunity.
That was the big thing he added to his bow when he came on behind the play the other year. He spoke specifically about how the one big bit of advice he'd been given, the one big project he'd been given in the off-season was to work on those short kicks, because that was kind of the inconsistent part of his game, and he's absolutely nailed that side of it. Just hardly misses a target. Not only does he have this unique kicking action, but his game sense is top shelf.
Yeah, absolutely. You're back, Jake.
Oh, Ben and I are both doing some mild editing on the back end.
Going up and down.
Oh, I've changed now.
Paul's where he wants to be. Top
I'm
left.
not doing shit anymore.
There you go, Paul. You're top left again. Make you feel a bit better. Hey, thanks, Thomas. Appreciate that, mate.
Hey.
Thomas has been one of our biggest supporters all year. He's an absolute champion. So absolutely love you there, Thomas. Thanks for that.
Thomas.
Throws way too much money around, but thank you, Thomas.
He does, definitely does. Take it easy, Thomas. All right, now I'm looking forward to this part of the show. I've got some awards to give away this year. So the first award, and this is a 2-time winner. Actually, we had Max Holmes, 2-time winner of the Kaji Greaves Medal, but this is a 2-time winner of the Fan of the Year award, and it is Bianca Bella.
Thank you so much, Hip School, for announcing the back-to-back Fan of the Year. Who cares about the back-to-backs of Brisbane? Go Cats!
Exactly. Who cares about the back-to-back to the Brisbane Lions? Bianca Vella is the fan of the year. Declan, honourable mention to Declan as well. Hello, if you're watching Declan, you might be in bed. It's 10 to 10, but Bianca's always, well, not every single week, but when
It's a
she
school
can,
night.
yeah, it's a school night. Bianca's always on post-game live with Dad and Declan, and even Mum's come on a couple of times this year. So the whole Vella family, we absolutely love you here at the Hoops Group, and hopefully you'll stay with us onto next year as well. And Bianca is starting to put out some content about the VFL and the AFLW as well. So make sure you check them out. I think probably Insta's the best place to go, unless Brendan there's another channel or somewhere better to watch Bianca's stuff.
There we go. She's jumping
Beautiful.
around. She's there in the background.
Jumping around.
Clearly very happy.
Doosh,
Don't
doosh.
you do it, Ben. You're embarrassing yourself.
I could dance with the best of them, Paul. Just watch me go. Watch me
As we
go.
know, you're the pole dancing champion, aren't you?
Exactly. Now, Paul, I'm giving this one to you. Take us through your nuff of the year, and you've got a bit of a short list as well. I'm not sure if
big
you've got
one.
it in the notes.
We've had
Looking
some
forward to
pretty phenomenal candidates over the course of the year. There's a lot of stupidity it's very, very visible in this game, and I'm buying myself time to bring up my playlist here so I don't forget anyone. But who could forget all of the incredibly stupid moments this year? Come on, where's the playlist? Ben, where's the playlist gone?
Vampires.
Anyway,
notes.
there's been some phenomenal stuff, and I'm already seeing the chat going wild for it. And you can't ignore Caroline Wilson for some of her recent comments, and you don't even really know where to start, to be honest. I know a lot of people want to fling some shit at her for her comments in the last week or so, but it runs very deep. Hang on, there we go. I finally got some of the stuff working for me. We could talk about umpiring. I feel like I returned to that well half a dozen times over the course of the year. If I counted, it probably was half a dozen times. We could talk about Isaac Rankin and his comments. You could talk about David King. That was a very, very popular video when I went after David King earlier in the year. But for as much as the chat wants to heap it on Caro, you can't go past Catman. The final the final nuff of the year. He came in last minute, came in like a wrecking ball, and won hearts and minds. Stephen Bradbury to weigh in for a win. Won hearts and minds. I think every other video of Nuff that we've published, perhaps at all time, but certainly this year, doesn't combine to equal the number of people who've consumed my video around around Catman. Enough of the year. The subtitle that Ben constructed, Catman Crashes Out, is top shelf. And Catman did, in fact, crash out. As soon as you refer to yourself as a sovereign citizen, you've completely blown any chance at earning anyone's respect straight out the window. So good luck restoring your image, Catman, in 2026. Thank you all for having tuned in and checked out that video, because it's been a time. I was just... There was multiple takes of that one. I was cackling my way through that. Had a good time constructing it. My particular highlight being that when he refers to credits, when you win a qualifying final and you've got credits in the bank. And I had to quickly point out that as someone who works in video games quite regularly and deals with credits quite a lot in that thing, this is not a fucking video game, Catman. You just don't get a retry whenever you lose. So, Catman, get fucked.
Yeah, all right, so congratulations to Catman, and you do some good things, Catman, and we're mostly having a laugh, apart from the sovereign citizen stuff. But yeah, no, look, just get back to being the fun-loving Catman without the silly stuff. That'd be nice. All right, this
didn't even talk about like Catman and
Sorry.
Catwoman and all those sorts of things that have been going on before the grand final too.
Sorry, Jake. Yeah, you had something to say, Jake.
2026. The Hoops Crew, it's going to be our first pay-per-view event. We're going to get Paul James v. Catman.
Yes.
So, yeah, make sure you subscribe to that one.
The pre-show to that one is the also much anticipated. I don't know how much you two guys are across this through my live thing, but the actual pre-show to the big Paul v. Catman fight will actually be the Paul v. Fags arm wrestle.
Oh, the arm wrestle.
The arm wrestle that we've all been looking forward to. And then I'll
Over the
kick the
top.
shit out of Catman after that.
Over the top. 80s, classic 80s movie, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. All right. Jake, was there anything you wanted to say, or you're good?
No, I was just promoting the upcoming pay-per-view. We'll cut some promos during the off season.
All right. Well, the next award, I had to find a way to give this bloke an award this year, and he's an absolutely adored player from in the Hoops crew community. The chat has been all over him all year round. We've wanted more. We can't get enough of this bloke. It is the Justice for George Award, and it goes to none other than George Stevens. Congratulations, George. You are the inaugural recipient of the Justice for George Award. Don't ask me what the award actually means, but we needed to have something.
Needs
for
more
George.
game time.
Needs more game time. Yes. So we were for weeks and weeks and weeks, we were trying to get George Stevens a game. He finally got a game. It was pretty much, we could have got a few more than a couple of votes in that game. I think we gave him 6 votes in that game, which is pretty good still for a debut. And then might have played
We paid
GWS
more
the
respect
next
to him
week.
than the Rising Star nominee team.
Exactly. Absolutely
His
outrageous.
award-
So that's why
his
we're
award
giving
is-
him the award, Paul.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get the Rising Star.
Exactly. And his award is that his chin grows a few centimeters each time he wins this award.
Exactly. The chin's getting bigger. It's like
Buzz Lightyear areas.
Yeah.
Family Guy character, I think, had a really big jaw. I can't remember the name of the character. Anyway. Stan, maybe? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
This one's got a slightly different graphic because I thought it was too good. We had to frame this one. This is for it's a bit of a giveaway when I name the award, but this one was too good that I couldn't put in a frame. So this goes to a player that has been an absolute superstar of the AFL for years, for about well over 10 years now, and nearly I wouldn't say won us the game, but basically put the Cats in front. Was contributed towards the Cats hitting the front in the third quarter with one arm, mind you. And this goes to the Arm of the Year award, goes to Jeremy Cameron, a tackle that will be forgotten about, unfortunately, in years to come. But Jezza, you are the winner of the Arm of the Year award for your tackle there on what's his name?
Look at that
What's that
arm.
bloke's name again?
A Brisbane player.
Oh,
Yeah, Brisbane player. Scum.
He's a father
I've forgotten his father son, or whatever. He's
Fletcher.
just a Brisbane.
Fletcher.
Yeah, so congratulations, Jazzy. You got there. You got to go with your Coleman medal. Put that on your wall there in the Cameron Museum or in the shed next to the fridge, and enjoy that one.
That
So,
Jeremy
that's all
Cameron picture. That Jeremy Cameron picture needs to go on like those weird office, like those corporate motivational things. They've got a picture and they're just like a quote. And this one should be something like, always keep reaching, or, something like that. I think this image is ripe for some corpo motivational artwork.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's
And
such a
don't
shame
land
because if we won that grand final, that would have been one of the most iconic grand final moments of all time. And instead,
There would have been.
outside of us Cats fans, and even then in time, we'll come to forget it as well, unfortunately. It just kind of disappears. That's a Leo Barry style moment as far as I'm concerned. I know the timing of the game's different, but like the significance and what that could have offered the Cats, it's just a shame that we only had 6 blokes that were actually playing that day.
I'll tell you what, it hasn't been spoken about enough, and it's not clearly probably. We'll move on, but that Shannon Neal goal from 55 metres, absolutely incredible. He didn't have the best game of it, but man, that was a good goal. I can't believe he kicked that. But yeah, he got towed up by Harris, but that was a good moment. All right, that's the awards for 2026. Congratulations to all the winners. Congrats to Bianca Vella again, 2-time recipient of Fan of the Year award. Also, little shout out to Ethan and Kiri and others as well for your efforts. And Lucas, we'll give Lucas a mention too. He comes on and bears the nipples every other week. So
that's the award for next year. The best rig.
Best rig award. Lucas,
sorry, we're not on Twitch, so we don't get kicked offline when the nipples come out. Well,
no, we don't.
When male ones come out.
No, we don't. All right,
Especially
Jake. Exactly. You have the honour, Jake, of bringing us home. Yeah, this is the award for and I've got some graphics here now. We've got the graphics for the top 5 place getters. We're nearly there, people. Jake, who finished 5th this year?
Oh, well, just, a true Australian icon. Not just Geelong, but an Australian icon. Um, a man who seemingly, I described him at one point during the year as the AFL's answer to Jim Carrey, a gangly contortionist capable of defying not only gravity, but the laws of time and space to manipulate the footy around angles. That's right. This motherfucker. Fifth place in the awards goes to Jeremy Cameron. 54 votes for Jeremy Cameron, who gets to 88 goals. And I'll just say this. Enough of the week or enough of the year could also, just a little sneaky, sort of maybe byline to that award. The miserable piece of shit teams that decided to double team Jeremy Cameron out of the game in the last month and a half of the season so he couldn't get to his ton. Do you people hate fun? What, you just not prepared to let Jeremy kick 12-14 against one of your milquetoast defenders? Jeremy Cameron, what a start. It might be as close as we get to 80 to 100 goals again.
To be fair, if he didn't lose his kicking boots in the last couple of weeks of the year, he might have still done it regardless. But
he probably would have. Yeah. Some self-inflicted wounds, but no, Jeremy Cameron, what an absolute legend of the club. And I loved watching him at GWS. He's one of those rare players that you enjoy watching at another club. Zach Toohey was one for me, who I used to love watching at Carlton. And then the dream comes true. You get them at your team. James Podsiadly, loved watching him in Werribee, in the VFL. And then you get to see him for the Cats. Jezza is that player. Just absolutely loved watching him play. And then to get to see him in the hoops where it looks like he belongs. Just a tremendous player who is one of the greats of the modern era. So fifth place feels fitting for him.
Yeah, it always saddens me to remember what we gave up to get Jezza. And then I remember we gave up absolutely nothing to get Jezza. And it makes me very happy because he is an absolute superstar.
I actually highlighted so with the video that I published earlier in the week about Geelong's free agency history, I kind of went through one specific transaction there, which was Stevie Motlop when he departed to go to Port. The free agency compensation we got there ended up going towards Gary Ablett returning to the Cats, pick 24, which became Tim Kelly, and then someone else, I can't remember who it was. But then Tim Kelly, of course, provided us 2 first-rounders, bundled with our first, brought Jeremy Cameron in the door. So thank you, Stevie Motlop.
Absolutely.
You are a wonderful, wonderful individual.
Team player.
You kicked a very important goal for Power, but really you gave us our favourite son back and Jeremy Cameron as well.
Yeah, no, he is.
Yep,
he is an absolute freakish player, and yeah, I'm glad we absolutely pulled down Giants' pants and embarrassed him at trade and got him for peanuts. Really, at the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure one of those picks that we gave him turned out to be Tanner Bruin, who came to the Cats
came back to us as well. No further comment.
The Ollie Henry stuff.
Giants, once we embarrassed them again. So, but yeah, Jeremy Cameron, he's an absolute freak, and yeah, sometimes it looks like he just takes a game so casually, and then the next second he's just this absolute freakish player that's kicking a goal from a stupid angle. So well done, Jeremy. 5th place is a good spot.
Feels a bit harsh. I think Jackie said, maybe the Hoops crew should be enough of the year for not having him top 3. I think, he finished 3rd in the cards, and I do feel a bit bad that we couldn't find a spot for him in the top 3, but that's probably the one thing. I reckon he could have been another spot higher, but an absolute champion of the game, and he'll go down as a legend. He'll probably kick, 700 and something goals already now. He'll probably end up with 800, 850, even though I did hear some chatter today in the socials that maybe he's thinking about retirement. I don't know if anyone else heard that. So
do not believe that.
No,
I'm not believing it. I won't believe it.
I was annoyed at Jezza, though, because he finished 3rd in the Kaji, and I had picked him fourth. And if he finished fourth and Atkins third, I would have picked the top 5 from 1 to 5 perfectly. So I was a little bit bummed by that. But well, that's just me.
Exactly. All right, Paul. I've given you the honour. I've changed
You
it
have.
up. I've changed the order up.
I
Yep.
just noticed that a moment ago, but
I
you
know.
have. That's all right.
I'm highlighting it for you so you can see it. So you take us through the 4th place getter for the Cats this year.
So again, I keep kind of going and comparing Kaji to our votes, and this is for us. This is the bolter compared to some of the others that feature in the Kaji top 10, and it's the skipper Paddy Dangerfield, who finished this year on 66 votes. I'm not as prepared for this one because I wasn't factoring taking him on, but kicked 30 goals in the year, broke Jeremy Cameron's arm. But also setting that aside, when the game needed to be won on quite a few occasions, and I do think this is probably why our votes skewed a little bit in favour of Paddy at different points. When the game needed to be won, he pulled on the cape, much like what he did in the prelim, and just dragged the team home. But I say that, and in the first half of the year, and I'm pretty sure I put together a video that was suggesting that like he could be on the verge of pinching his 9th All-Australian here. Like he was playing extraordinary football in the first half of the year. That slowed down a little bit once he did his hammy and missed a couple of weeks. But he was playing really dynamic football, doing all the things that you want to see your captain do, which was leading from the front. He still needs to learn a little bit about his forward craft. Let's not lose sight of that. He's such a disruption to some of the blokes around him. But I still loved what he put together this year, and another fantastic season from Paddy Dangerfield.
He broke Jess's arm, so you're right. He's got to just work with the other
Black
forwards a
Mark
little bit better. He has a crack though, doesn't he? So you can't blame him for that. We were all just all over the place on that day. Couldn't quite make it happen. Look, Danger, I think maybe Danger was a little bit high for me. I probably feel like we could have had, I don't know, Jezza maybe in 4th. I think what Jezza finished 3rd in the Kaji. I think 4th probably feels about right for me. Just he was terrific in a handful of games this year, but probably a lot of games where he didn't feature at all. Like he would have probably not even been top 5. Like the players like Brad Close, that we didn't give a single vote to, I felt was a lot more consistent this year without actually dominating a game. So probably Jezza for me, just maybe too many quiet games. And maybe, I know a lot of us vote with our hearts a lot as well. So there's some players like some heart and soul players that we throw some votes at as well, just because they do things the Geelong way. Thoughts on Jeremy Cameron, fellas?
I think that,
sorry, Patrick Dangerfield. Sorry,
I think Danger too. The one thing I would say about him is, one, I thought that the forward line looked a lot better after he came back from injury. I actually thought that it might have been valuable time where he spent a bunch of games up forward to start the season. Then he got that injury. He was out for a few weeks. And the forward line actually started to catch fire without him. And then I thought when he came back, he had adjusted his approach a little bit. So I think there's some value sometimes for players, particularly if they're changing position, to just have a few weeks on the sidelines to go, okay, how does this look without me? Where am I maybe getting in Jez's leading patterns, or where should I be leading so that it opens space for someone else? And I thought across the second half of the season, we saw something that looked a lot better than the first half. And I think the reason too that for me, I think he's probably ended up 4th over Jezza in 5th. With Jezza, to be fair, there were some games where he had like 1 goal going into the last quarter, and then in the last 15 minutes, kicked 4.
That's true.
The West Coast game is a big one that stands out, where he'd actually not had a great night, and the young bloke who played on him had done terrifically. I think he ended up kicking 5 or 6 goals for the night, and it was not really representative. Where I think Danger too at times is one of those players. He either gets no votes or 3 this year, and if you're going to rack up 3 votes, in a bunch of games, it makes sense. And he would have filled his boots votes-wise from us in that qualifying final.
Definitely.
Let's be fair.
Danger had another
prelim rather.
And I've really enjoyed the way he's captained this team. It was always going to be a extremely difficult job to captain this Cats team after Joel Selwood. And that first year, I think it was still a bit of a struggle, but I tell you what, he's found his own way to lead this team, and it's been a great way to lead it. It's been selfless, it's been hard going, and it's been an absolute wrecking ball and putting his body on the line, and he hasn't stopped. Even though, a lot of commentators and AFL media morons have said that he should slow down and not do what he does, but it's like, what else does he know? He knows
Exactly.
one way to go, and that's the best. And when he goes the way he knows, he's absolutely fantastic. And we saw that in the prelim. And yeah, like a great year by Dangerfield, and really glad he's the captain. Really glad we got him to the Cats, and good luck to next year. And he'll do again what he did this year and lead from the front and put his body on the line for this team as a captain should do.
Real quick, John, do you think he'll be captain in 2026?
I think so. I can't see him being displaced just yet. I don't think the Cats are like that, just to take the captaincy of someone if they've had because they're a bit older or whatnot. I feel like Cats feel like they are more on the side of the players going, how do you feel going into this year? Or is there another player that the team thinks could be a better captain? And to my mind, the only other player would be Tom Stewart, who could lead this team as well as Dangerfield. But while Dangerfield's in this team, I still think he's captain. Same as Joel Selwood. As long as Joel Selwood was still playing, he was easily the captain no matter what.
Yeah.
We don't abdicate at Geelong.
I think too, on that captaincy thing, just quickly, I know we've got to move on, but Dangerfield too, I think he's got an ego in the best sense of the word. Like we talked about, we had debates after 2022 and Selwood retired about who should be the captain. And there was Dangerfield looked like the obvious choice. We campaigned for Stewie, and there was some thoughts too around even Tom Atkins. I know that sounds premature, but the thing that happened with Danger for me was he was able to wear that 2023 season where we missed finals and were really up and down. Like the beauty of Dangerfield is he knows exactly who he is. When Patrick Dangerfield wakes up in the morning, Patrick Dangerfield knows exactly who he is, his career, his legacy, his game, inside out, and he seems to be almost a bit bulletproof in that sense. I think there's some other players that could have been captain in 2023 who might have taken that season really hard and gone, shit, we've just dropped off a cliff from 2022. What does it mean? Danger just backed the team relentlessly and was proven right. So I think his personality is right for this team where they are right now.
Yeah, I think he'll kick on for another year, but I think 2026 might be the last year of him being captain, and then he'll either retire or probably hand it on to someone else. But that's probably a whole nother video for this sometime during summer, I'd say, around the captaincy situation, unless they make a call on it pretty soon. All right, John, I'm going to go back to you. Unless, Paul, you had anything else you wanted to say about Danger, but you kicked us off on that one.
No, I kicked that one off. I'm good.
Beautiful. All right, so John, back to you.
Yep.
I've actually done really good not to actually read the player's name out here. I've done this a couple of times. I've been really close. But in third place, John.
Third
This
place.
could be a little controversial, possibly, but third place.
Right. So first off, there's only 2 stats in this player's year this year that he didn't break his records for the season, and that was in marks, which he only missed out by 2, and tackles, which again he only missed out by 2. Apart from that, in every single stat, this player has absolutely improved out of sight. Like, yeah, everything. Like everything's just been amplified to the extreme, and that player is Max Holmes in third place with 108 votes. So this year, his season average disposals 26.9. His career average was 20.6, and then season average of kicks is 16.8, which was 12.3. Handballs 10.8. So yeah, it could go through all that, and it's all just skyrocketing. He's had a great year. Obviously, he's had a fantastic year for the Cats because he won the Cargy Greaves Medal. came third for us. But yeah, he played in a grand final finally, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, we just couldn't put it together for him to win that first grand final. But Maxi Holmes is becoming that Judd-like player that Patrick Dangerfield brought on.
Said he would
brought
be.
on in. And I tell you what, once he starts getting a little bit more support from that midfield contested area where he can get the ball on the outside a bit more with Baz, he's gonna be unstoppable. Like at times this year, he was unstoppable, and yeah, he's just had a fantastic year, and I can't wait to see him next year.
Spartacus, you've just spoiled it. No, not quite. Yeah, he's had an absolutely terrific year, and I think last time in the Hoopies, he might have actually run away with it. I don't think anyone was anywhere near him towards the end.
He got nowhere near him.
Yeah, so and this year a little bit closer. There wasn't a hell of a lot between the top three vote getters, and in any given week, there's 15 votes up for grabs between the five of us. So a couple of games here or there, if we see things slightly differently, it can really sort of mean the difference between first, second, or third. So, Jake or Paul, any thoughts on Max Holmes?
Go for it, Jake.
Oh, look, I think that it's so funny. Like Chris Judd was one of those players in the early to mid 2000s that I loved watching. That is factually incorrect, Brendan, because Mitch Hardy has not made a run at any point. Wouldn't say running is a big strength of the game there.
Please just turn the knife on him, because this has been a thing in the chat all year.
Well, someone said, do I have a Mitch Hardy jersey? And I said, well, they'd have to produce an AFL one for me to buy it because they don't sell VFL Guernseys. So with Max Holmes, I would just say, like, those images of Chris Judd in my head in that hideous, like, orange and blue West Coast uniform that they used to wear. Just tearing through 50 and launching a goal. Like you could AI Max Holmes into that Guernsey, or AI Chris Judd into a Cats Guernsey. And like, it's like the Office meme, corporate needs you to find the difference between these two pictures. They are the same picture. He's unbelievable. He is Judd-like. His speed is weird. Like he doesn't necessarily look that fast, and then all of a sudden he's off and he's clearing people. He's got gears that other people don't seem to have. And a little bit, we talked about O'Sheen Mullen, talk about players who finally discover that, like, oh, I'm the weapon. Like a lot of players, I think when they come into the league, they're worried about their opponent. They're worried about what they need to do defensively. And then the penny drops at some point. And they go, oh, I can actually make the other team defend me. It's the old Walter White from Breaking Bad. I am the danger. I think Max Holmes has started to realize he is the danger. He is that player that can absolutely rip a game, apart for us. I think he's only going to get better. So, third this year. What did we say? He was first last year. He'll be up in the top three again next year. He's an absolute jet. I think the scalp will eventually be shaved, just like Chris Judd, because the follicles cling barely to the scalp when he's at top speed, burning through the paint at 50. So, no, Max Holmes, what an absolute ripper player. Yeah. Legend.
Well said. A star, an absolute star of this club. And, yeah, it could have easily have gone back-to-back in the Hoopies as well. But, as I said, it's tough. We do our votes every week, and it can go either way. But I've loved Max, and he's actually developed I wouldn't say it's a lethal left foot, but he's actually added that to his game as well. He can kick both sides of his body now, or he's not afraid to, at least anyway. And that held him back a little bit. He's trying to do these weird things off his right foot, hugged up against the boundary line. It's like, mate, come on, you got to use your left. But he's actually added that this year, and I think Jake, as you said, he's only going to get better next year as well. So if we can keep those hamstrings nice and warm, that'll be good. But I reckon him and Bailey Smith are absolutely going to just have the summer of all summers. Hopefully not on the nose beers, but hopefully have a really good summer, running laps, doing sprints, pushing tin, getting bigger and stronger and ready to win that premiership in 2026. I reckon they're hungry, those two, and they're only going to spur each other on to greater, better things. Anything on that, Paul?
No, not particularly. I think you all summarised it pretty well. I think the thing that I guess always impresses me the most is he's like a 60-metre player. He'll run 10, 15, deliver it 45, 50. And that could just break a game open. And he's not one of those, really fleet of foot players who are quite slight and pretty easily knocked off the ball. No, he'll bash his way through a contest as well, use some of his size and then break away with the ball and that speed. It's quite incredible what he's got. So Ben has jinxed the hamstring.
Yeah.
You need to shut your mouth.
That spin against Hawthorn by Max Holmes lives in my memory rent-free. That was just glorious to watch.
Yeah.
Some more of that, Max.
Yeah.
All please, Max.
Go back.
Chat.
Go back and watch 2022. I can't remember if it was round 3 or 4 against Collingwood when the Cats were down significantly going into the last quarter. Go back and do yourself a favour and watch Max Holmes in that last quarter because he has several moments that are absolutely match-breaking for us. And we stormed back. I think we were like 30 points down or something and came back and beat them in that last quarter. And Max Holmes really did, I thought, announce his presence in that team in that final term. Yeah.
All right. Paul, Jake, it's on you again. This is one of your favourite players. Who came second in the Hoopies in 2025?
Well, in this case, I feel like I'm accepting an award on someone else's behalf because in some ways I feel that Sam should be here to talk about this player because no one has championed this player more heavily, I think, than our man Sambo. We talk all the time about how does Geelong defy the cycle of time in the AFL. It is a merciless gravitational pull that you can ascend beyond it for a little while and then eventually you are dragged kicking and screaming by your ankles down back into Hades. Geelong have defied it year after year after year for 2 decades. So how? Well, it's players like this guy, players like Tom Atkins, who finishes second in our voting this year, players who never, ever, ever give up. There's that second line in the Geelong song, the second verse, it talks about fight like hell until the final bell. That's Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins is maybe one of, a dying breed of players who are no nonsense. I like to play football and you can jam TikTok and your fucking endorsements up your ass because I just want to go and play football. I just want to go play footy and I want to play it hard. And I said there was 2 players who played that Tigers game out to the bitter end. It was Tom Stewart and it was Tom Atkins. And we talk all the time about his tackles and it's amazing. He averaged nearly 9 tackles per game. He broke all the records. But it's the other stuff as well. He averaged nearly 6 clearances per game. Nearly 6 clearances. And we talk about Holmes and we talk about Smith and their clearance work. Tom Atkins, as Paul, I believe, brought up earlier, Tom Atkins actually led the team for total clearances this season. He was also up there. He had 20 goal assists. We actually, I believe, had more goal assists this season than Brian Myers, to my knowledge. And he's just worked on things. And this is why I said in that video about Reshko and Ivicic that you have to thank all the players on the list, even the ones that don't get picked in any given week, because they drive other players to become better versions of themselves. Ted Closey, George Stevens, Jai Clark, hard inside midfielders get drafted into the club. And Tom Atkins goes, shit, they're going to be after my spot. And it drives Tom Atkins to become what he is in 2025. He's a complete player. He can do everything now. He tackles well, he wins the footy, and he uses the football well. So deserving of this award, of finishing second. And I just think he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, and I'm like bizarrely, I'm so proud of him as a player. If you think back to what he was when he first got to the Cats and what he is now, he's the midfield general now.
Yeah.
So yeah, can't speak more highly of him.
You know, he probably won't be considered in the eyes of most as Geelong's best player or even an elite player in the AFL. But he's everything that us Geelong supporters wish and hope that our players would be. He represents that true Geelong spirit, and you just want really good things for him, don't you? And probably, it needs to be mentioned as well. As well as all those accolades and stats you rattled off there, Jake. He's done a great job babysitting Bailey Smith all year as well. The amount of times he's had to sort of calm him down, just run over to him and jazz him up sometimes as well when he's missed something. He's been terrific. He's an absolute team player, and we're so lucky to have that. And another one we just plucked out of nowhere. I can't believe we kept these guys. And he's a humble bloke. He's one of the nicest guys. I mean, I haven't spoken to him personally. My partner has, but one of the nicest guys going around there as well. And you can just tell that everyone just loves him at the club, and everyone that meets him just falls in love with him as well. So I imagine all 17 other clubs would love to have him on their list too.
Yeah. I don't know where to start when we talk about Tom Atkins, because he is such an incredible player, such an important player to this team, an important player to Baz and Holmes. If Tom Atkins isn't here, Max Holmes and Bailey Smith are not the players they are today.
Correct.
He is so important. He is so crucial to this team. Like he potentially is our most important player in this team for what he does, for what he represents. But yeah, like the moments I love most about Tommy Atkins is when the ball's about to be thrown up, and you see him yelling and shouting at Bailey Smith. I don't know why I keep calling Bailey Smith.
Because he drinks Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouting at Bailey Smith and Max Holmes, telling them where they need to go for this stoppage. And what happens every single time? Max Holmes or Bailey Smith gets that ball and they sit inside 50. So he is so important, so crucial to this team. And yeah, as Jake said, just proud of him, proud of what the player's become. Like 2021 looked like he was crashing out big time. Like he was struggling. He was in the back. He just looked like he was out of place in this team. And then 2022 became like a great year, premiership player. And then from there on, he's just become this superstar, this heart and soul, pure clubman, the guy that you look to for advice, the guy you look to get this team going. And yeah, absolutely love Tom Atkins. He is incredible and can't wait to see him play again. Like, yeah, he is one of those players that you just love to watch and so crucial.
And who could forget? You've all said done an amazing job here covering him. So I won't add anything of any major substance here. But who could forget the moment where he got questioned by a media individual about Bailey Smith and his Tinder profile, only to shut it down in the most comprehensive fashion I think I've ever heard. I was so proud of him. Forget his on-field exploits. That is the greatest thing that Tom Atkins has accomplished in his time at the Geelong Football Club.
Congratulations, Tom. Well-deserved second place in the Hoopies 2025. I actually wanted him to win the Cargie. I would have lost my shit if he had won the Cargie this year. Wasn't meant to be. And Max Holmes, very deserving winner of the Cargie. Now, Paul, you've got the honour of bringing us home. You are the man tonight to bring us home with the first place. And I think process of elimination, I think we know who it is, but nevertheless, take us through it.
Yeah, let me drag it out. Ray Stanley is our
Reece.
Reece Stanley is the Hoopies Medal winner of season 2025. No, Bailey Smith gets it. 136 votes for Bailey Smith. An incredible accomplishment on his part. And he had just career highs all over the place this year. There was so much doubt, I guess, about what he could potentially bring the Cats off the back of ACLs, some of the off-field history, all of those sort of, I guess, off-field topics of conversation. But in this year alone, career highs in disposals with 43, career highs in kicks in any given game, 28, career highs in handballs, 22. Marks was an equal career high. Clearances, a whole lot of the key metrics that you look for as a midfielder, he was having career highs in those. And not only just having one-offs, but consistently at a really high level all season. And the thing that I really impressed me the most, obviously he's spending way more time in the midfield this year, so his clearance numbers almost double the best he's accomplished in any season before this. But the thing that really, I think probably slipped under the radar a little bit, and it didn't actually kind of catch my eye until I looked at these stats, is the tackle count. I know we talk about Axe and some of the incredible things he did in that realm, but again, for his tackle count, almost double what his PB of any other year. There's one little exception there in 2021, but that's considerably higher than some of the others. But a phenomenal effort from him this year in terms of just the defensive aspects of the game as well. And it's not something that gets highlighted very often because we see him and the way the media will portray him as this offensive attacking player. But there is a little bit more accountability there than kind of meets the eye initially. I was really happy with his first season. He's going to grow and improve so much over the course of this year. Congratulations, Bailey Smith, on being the Hoopies Medal winner for season 2025.
Yeah, no, well deserved, and definitely was AFL Players Association MVP or champion as well. So can't be too many arguments there, really, that Bailey's won it. I think a lot of us probably had Bailey winning the Cargie, but just didn't quite get it done there. Jake, your thoughts on Bailey's first year at the category? It's a terrific year, obviously. Do you think he's got more to offer in 2026?
Yeah, I do. And look, I know yourself and Johnny will have thoughts too. I've got some sort of stuff that is about him that one fantastic year, absolutely magnificent. Like, he's that player that we've cried out for many seasons, basically since we started doing the podcasts, was if only the Cats could get someone who could rack up 30 touches a game. Just be that link man with that hard work ethic. And it's something you don't notice so much on TV. When you're at the game and you see him work from back 50 arc to forward 50 arc to get a handball, like, he is an absolutely elite worker. But my sort of parting thought on Bailey Smith for this season is my big hope is that one day soon we get to see Bailey Smith play footy free. And what I mean by that is I was looking at an Instagram video today from the Hawks BNF night, and it was a really nice moment between Jack Gunston and Luke Bruce, where Gunston was heaping praise on his retiring mate. And someone had said in the comments, this is how real men should act, and, not like that man-child Bailey Smith, blah, blah, blah. And to that comment, I responded, it's the beauty of being a player at 34 or 35, like Gunston and Bruce, is that you've been through a lot in that decade since you're in your early to mid-20s. And there's a lot of different experiences and a lot of different lessons you learn, and it gives you a different perspective on life and therefore footy. And so my dream is that at some point we get to see Bailey Smith free himself. And what I would say is free yourself of giving a shit. I want to see Bailey Smith get to play the game he loves without giving a single flying fuck, legitimately, what anyone thinks or writes. And I think there's an incredibly good human being in there. And I think that he's learning some shit at the moment. He's talked about the stuff that he's been through. And does he always get it right? Absolutely not. But he's 24 or whatever he is.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's an excuse, but the point is, the course of time changes people. The course of time allows people time to learn and grow. And I long for the day where we see Bailey Smith play football free of all this crap, where he can truly tune out the noise and just go, my footy's doing the talking. My footy is doing the talking. My footy is good enough. I am good enough. I don't need any other sort of attention or interaction because I'm one of the best footy players in the league. And that's what he proved this year. And that's what I hope he takes away from this year. It's not all this bullshit that went on off the field. Your footy's good enough. And therefore, Bailey, and you're probably never going to listen to this, you're good enough. You are
But
good
everyone,
enough.
clip this
You're
and
a
send it to Bailey.
Yep, clip it.
You are good enough and valuable and worthwhile. And I long for the day where I get to see Bailey Smith play free of this stuff. So that's my piece.
No, it was
Well
wonderful.
said,
Well
Jay.
said.
Perfectly
Yeah,
said.
well said.
I would say I wasn't as excited as Sam was on Bailey Smith coming to the Cats. Not because of who he was or what he, like, that didn't worry me. It was just, I wasn't excited what he was going to bring to the Cats. I was like, what is he going to bring? What is he going to achieve for this team? And I tell you what, I've never been more happy to be proven 100% without a doubt, completely, utterly wrong than seeing Bailey Smith play for the Cats this year, because he nearly did get us that premiership. He nearly did get us that ultimate glory. And he has made this team better. 100%. He has made this team better. And I'm just, I still to this day, I'm still incredibly pissed off, frustrated, annoyed at the AFL media for how they've treated Bailey Smith the last few weeks. It's completely unfair, completely unreasonable the way they've gone after Bailey and the Cats. And so, thanks, Jake, for saying that, because, he deserves so much better from the media, because he is 24. 24-year-olds are going to do stupid things. Who, as a 24-year-old, hasn't done something stupid? Like, seriously. I'm proud of Bailey Smith, and I hope he stays who he is. And, he's going to get better with age, as we all do. We all grow, we all learn. But you know what? Bailey Smith's still young, and he will learn. But thanks, Bailey Smith. Absolute superstar, absolute champion. And no matter what the media says, us Cats fans all love you.
Yep.
But
Well said.
can I just cap that point that I was talking about before? Because I'm sorry to butt in, but I really do want to be specific about this stuff. And it's something that I think you learn at different parts in your life. But that is, the person who has the most control in this situation over all of this, over whether the media goes after you or not, is Bailey Smith. He has the power and the control. And that's what I mean by playing free. I think you have the power. You have the power. Look at the players on Geelong's team. I put up a tweet. You know who I never see misquoted or misinterpreted? Tom Atkins. There are great examples in the Geelong Footy Club of how to make yourself a player that doesn't draw the media. Bailey Smith has the power. He's got the power on the field with what he does with the footy, and he's got the power to make sure he does not draw that microscope. And it's something he's going to have to learn to play with, because he's a star player, and he's going to have to work out how much of this do I want and how much of it can I just let go? Because a large part of it is, for all of us, we get comments, lads. Nothing to the extent that Bailey Smith does. But when you put yourself out on YouTube, you get comments.
Oh.
You get people saying stuff to you. At a certain point, 5 years into this, I have learned you just let it go. You just let it go. And there is an absolute freedom when you start to let the bad shit go and you just embrace the good stuff that comes. Sometimes there'll be some stuff that you want to take on board that's good feedback, but you have the power with what you take on board and what you don't. So that's what I just wanted to cap that off, because I think that Smith has control here, but that's something he's going to need to learn to exercise. Just my 5 cents to wrap it
No,
up.
100%. It's kind of bottle it and channel it in the right ways. The traditional media focus is always going to be there, and it's about how you use it. And I mean, there's another bloke on that list who attracts a hell of a lot of attention from the media as well. And that's obviously the captain, Paddy Dangerfield. And he had the same sort of spotlight shone upon him. when he first joined the Cats as well, and there was a lot of pressure, a lot of noise, a lot of expectation. Didn't carry some of the same baggage, but a lot of those things were still present in terms of what everyone was saying about him, and then he just lent into it in the right ways, not flipping people off in the crowd, not this shit, but just got out there and had fun and let his football do the talking. And then he'd also take the piss in light, fun ways where he'd walk in after injuring his leg in a Hawthorn game and on crutches and bandaged up and taking, you can have fun with this. Understand that it's a circus around you and just have fun with it. You can lean in and actually earn a stack of respect for it.
I think he'll get there. I think we're all going to look back in
100%.
15, 20 years' time and go, actually, everyone's like Bailey Smith now. He was just he was kind of years ahead of his time. This is the next generation coming through, and I think it's us, and probably maybe not us so much, but the AFL world probably not ready for Bailey Smith. But the Bailey Smith types of the world are coming, and I'm glad he's feeling more and more confident to be his authentic self. I think that's probably been part of his struggles as well. And I don't know the guy, and I don't know his story intimately, but you feel like he's just sort of he's just what's the metamorphosing? I can't get the word out. It's getting late, but he's just becoming there. Thank you, Paul. But he's just becoming who he's meant to be, I think, and he's going to slip up every now and then and lose his way. But I just believe that Bailey's just starting to figure it out, and I think he's learning about himself. He's learning about what he needs to do, and I think just the final piece is really just figuring out how to temper that with the team sort of aspect of it as well, and just finding how to be yourself while also not sort of getting in the way of the team goals too. So, and as you said, Jake, not letting the media get to you, and that's half the time I think the media blows everything up and everyone, and then Bailey just sort of feels that as well, and then probably reacts to it in a way that you might wish he didn't, but I think he's only going to learn from that and get better, and be yourself, Bailey. You're an absolute superstar, and you're a well-deserving winner of the Hoopies, and hopefully hopefully some of these messages get to you somehow through someone, and we think you've had a terrific year, and we think you're an awesome bloke, and you're only going to go on to bigger and better things. So any other final words on Bailey or anyone else in our top 10 before we start I can probably bring the leaderboard up while we're at that. So there we go.
He may be a future captain, by the way.
Yeah.
Just saying. Late 20s, early 30s, I think we could see a different Bailey Smith captain of the Cats.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
It's a good possibility. It's definitely a good possibility. There we go. So Bailey Smith takes it out with his 136 votes. Tom Atkins, a terrific season in second. I don't know if a lot of us would have had Tom Atkins finishing second at the start of the year, but I don't think people are going to begrudge him for that. When you read out all his stats before, Jake, I mean, clearly he's just probably the one that we all sleep on a little bit too much. Max Holmes, top 3, absolutely worthy, and then your Dangers and Cameron bringing out the top 5 as well. And congrats to everyone else. Congrats to everyone who debuted for the Cats this year. Congrats to everyone that put in a terrific effort in the VFL, and maybe he's going to get there at some point, get a game, hopefully early in 2026. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting time for the Cats over the next couple of weeks. We'll probably farewell some players. The list is probably we're going to have to make some more changes to the list in the next throughout the trade period. There'll be some players that we'll bring in. Let's hope Rowan Marshall joins the fold pretty soon. Maybe Charlie Curnow, but maybe we're just dreaming. And maybe we don't want him. Some of us don't want him anyway, but can you imagine that though? Rowan Marshall, Charlie Curnow, and without losing much. I think we'd probably lose someone if we had to get Charlie Curnow in.
You want to talk about media spotlight? You watch it shine brighter than ever if they go, how have they got these blokes in? How many farms? Morris Finance, how much money are you giving?
And then Zach Butters the next year.
They're cottoning onto us.
Do you know what happens though if we get Curnow? If we get Curnow, we can finally see Jeremy Cameron Brownlow off a wing. That's what I'm excited for most about Curnow coming to the
It would be
Cats.
wild if Jeremy Cameron just cuts loose and goes wherever he wants, whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Ollie Dempsey on one wing, Jeremy Cameron on the other.
Exactly. Jezza needs a bit of freedom in his last couple of years. Let him run loose. He's won 2 Colemans now. He wants a different role, and get Charlie Curnow in, and Charlie and Shannon Neal can just go bonkers in 2026, and Jezza can just have fun doing whatever he wants. That'd be the way to go. It's been a fun count, everyone. I do appreciate it. Sambo, hopefully everyone in the family's doing well. We'll catch you on, I'm sure we'll get it all 5 of us for some other episode at some stage, either at the year's end or early next year. It's been fun. No one checks Reese's Farm in the audit. No, we definitely don't check Reese's Farm in the audit. A big thank you to everyone who's been in the chat tonight. Obviously, thank you to all of you 4 as well. It's actually been fun. Thank you to Jed Buse for the pole vaulting content, pole dancing stuff that's come our way. And thank you to this guy. I can't remember your name, but he's the true winner of the Hoopies this season. Stay tuned for more. Definitely more chaps content throughout the AFLW season as well. Yeah, the girls have girls have had a tough couple of weeks, but we're not out of it yet. Just need to get back on that winners list.
In the words of Journey, don't stop believing. It will be a tough run home. Like they've pretty much got to win their last 4 games, but yeah, no, we'll be there for the AFLW season, the rest of it. So yeah, no, definitely jump on board. Come and jump on the train.
Still Cats. It's still Geelong.
Exactly.
It's still the same team.
And we can't get rid of Paul. Paul's going to be putting out videos left, right, and centre all over the shop with trade period coming up, and then we've got the draft. And Paul, are we going to do a live watch along of the draft again, like we did last year? I think we might have to try and factor that in somehow.
I'd imagine so. I've got to double check the date and how that kind of lines up with different end of year work things.
Oh, but, sure. That's right. It is that time, isn't it?
It is that time. My year 12's doing exams in 3 weeks, and we're all shooting bricks about it. So
we'll get you on 10 beers deep. I'll host the first half of the show, and then we'll just bring you on from whatever pub you're at. You can do a live cross from the pub. That'll be fun. And we read out our first pick at. We probably won't even get a pick when it's all said and done. We won't have a pick in the first night of the draft, so it'll be round 2.
They're all on to me anyway. It was we had the Catman video, and one of the comments I saw in there was going, "Oi, this fuck taught me." It was one of my students from like 10 years ago.
He's discovered the show.
He's just discovered the hoops. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
And I looked at the name like, yep, that checks out.
Definitely. I think we're giving the 3 votes tonight in the chat to Scars. Is there any disagreement in the chat? I think clearly it's got to be Scars tonight, so well done.
Do we have any pizzas to give away?
Do we have a pizza? I don't think we do. Shadu got the pizza for the grand final post-game live.
Deservedly so.
Maybe we can send him a couple of microwave pizzas from the hoops.
Yes.
Scars. We'll send you some microwave pizzas. Yeah, done it again.
Yeah, we'll sort something out. Maybe you can have. Did we auction your T-shirt? We haven't auctioned the T-shirt, have we, Paul? But maybe we'll save that for we won't have to. No,
because so obviously you're referencing the trade period and the draft and those sort of things. We've got some of the game streams that are going on after years of this theatric bullshit about the Ninja Turtles. I promised everyone that you'd get the Ninja Turtles game live stream, and so I will play Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate live on stream over the off season, and the shirt will have to at least linger around for longer than that, and then after, let's throw this shit in the bin or auction it or whatever. I don't care.
Cowabunga.
Very good. Cowabunga indeed. All right, let's wrap it up, everyone. The final leaderboard again. I'll just put that up there. Beautiful, absolutely incredible year from the boys. Sadly, just about 40 minutes short of winning another premiership. Nearly got there, but next year's another year, and we'll hopefully turn around our fortunes and get the job done next year. It's going to be a long summer, unfortunately, but looking forward to seeing what happens with the girls in the AFLW and seeing if we can sort of make a run at the finals there, and then you've got the draft and the trade period all together, and then we hit into a bit of a quiet patch. But as Paul said, we'll have some content coming away in the summer as well. Paul's pole dancing. Was it pole dancing, Paul, that you're doing? Or
yes, that's the plan. Yeah, just like old mate.
Pole dancing.
Oh, not that one.
Pole dancing.
crew young ID.
Look at the picage on that
guy. All right. Thank you, everyone. It's been lots of fun. We'll take you out. Go Cats. See you on the next one. Take care.
Go Cats.
And he's ready to go. It's forwards and backs, representing G-Town while talking the smack. Clashing facts like Patty, where the hell you at? Hoops crew are exploding, don't ever look back. Then we got Paul, yeah, he knows his stuff. He's a man, he's a myth, taking on the nuffs. The man don't miss, he loves to react. His words cut deep, he's a counterattack. Paul's on fire, brings a mic to life. Don't fuck with B-Dog if you value your life. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew's here and they'll never back down. Jake, Tommy, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, man, remember the names. In the studio, Jake's bringing the noise. With Johnny and Sambo, the chaps, chat boys, they're electric. And they're ready to roll. The boys are on fire and they're taking control. Recaps and previews, yeah, they cover it all. Part of the Hoops crew with Betty and Paul. They fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew, baby, they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, chasing glory and fame. With the sleeves, Max Holmes and Jack Bose. Tommy fucking Atkins, he'll break your damn nose. Stewie in the middle and Reese in the ruck. They see Big Jezza and they know they're fucked. They're the T-Town boys, go hard or go home. They're fucking